Good afternoon. My name is Donna Smirniotopoulos. Welcome to another episode of Angry Taxpayer. Today, I want to talk about one of the most exciting topics that I have ever discussed in the city, and that is the organizational chart. I blush when I think about the beauty of the organizational chart, both the old one and the new one, and through some very clever detective work, I was able to find the old chart, the legendary organizational chart for the city of Norwalk. First, I want to show you the new chart in color. Now, I don't have a color printer because, as previously discussed, my taxes are too high. So I cannot afford a color printer. These are the beautiful colors that will show up on your monitor if you look for that new chart. Last year, the Common Council approved the mayor's requested city reorganization, and the new chart reflects that specific endeavor. The number of direct reports was reduced. The span of control, so to speak, was reduced to, I think, 6 chiefs, and there are many of them hired and appointed by the mayor. Here is the chart in black and white. So hopefully you can see that. And obviously, if you look it up, you see at the top, the people of Norwalk, that's us. So we vote, and we vote on, we elect our mayor, and we elect our common council, and a bunch of other people that don't really matter. So, this one matters a lot, and then these guys, sort of, like they kind of do what the mayor tells them to do from what I can see. But anyway, this is the new chart. What surprised me was that when this chart went up, you couldn't find the old chart. So nowhere to be found. I was finally able to look it up through an old posted city budget. And if you've never seen the old chart, this is a treat. Good luck finding your way through this Byzantine series of lines and boxes. Here we are. The voters are up here in this little teeny tiny box. Can you guys see that? Okay. And props to my girl Jenny at Posh Spa for doing this really stellar flamingo manicure. Glad I got that out of the way. So here's the common council, here's the mayor. And then you see all of these people that the mayor appoints. Now, all of the mayoral appointments are left off of the new organizational chart. That doesn't mean they're any less important than they have been in the past. He appoints the Board of Estimate and Taxation, Oak Hills Park Authority, Board of Assessment Appeals, Zoning Board of Appeals, the Parking Authority, the Planning Commission, the Zoning Commission, and let's not forget the Water Pollution Control Authority. I don't know what they do. Maybe you know what they do. Maybe you want to do your own podcast about the Water Pollution Control Authority. There's a whole bunch of other boxes here I didn't highlight. There are other appointees. So here's the drill. The mayor comes up with a name somehow, pulls it out of a hat or someplace else, and approaches that person. And sometimes the person approaches him first, but usually the mayor will figure out someone to fill a vacancy. Sometimes he needs to be nudged by the public to fill a vacancy. And then the Common Council approves them unanimously, always. This has been going on, past few years or so, certainly since Mayor Rilling has been in office. It doesn't hurt that he has a 14-1 majority on the council. But there's something else that goes on that I read about it on Nancy back before she banned me. And one of our planning commissioners, Nora King, wrote that the appointees are all pre-approved behind the scenes. And so I read this and I was just appalled. I thought, well, is there no vetting? And is this all done in the dark? And it turns out, yes, it's all done in the dark, and we don't really have much control over the appointment process. I would say we have very little control at all. And one of the reasons that voting for mayor and common council is important is that our revenue is tied to the value of our properties. So we have about 35,000 residential units in the city of Norwalk, and 20,000 of those, a little more than 20,000, belong to owner-occupied single-family homes. So people like you and me, the people who live in apartments, the apartment buildings are assessed through commercial assessments. They're the most likely to get some sort of assessment appeal. In any case, 90% of our revenue is coming from property. So the way the city makes decisions about the use of land becomes critically important to our revenue stream. So if they make the wrong decisions, then we don't have the kind of revenue stream from commercial properties, let's say, that we should. And the net result is that the city has to lean on residential property owners to cover the difference. So that's why the appointments, especially to the Planning Commission and the Zoning Commission, are super duper important. The Board of Estimate and Taxation is another very important one. Just to bring you up to speed, the current chair of the BET is our very own Ed Camacho. Ed Camacho is also the chair of the Democratic Town Committee. No conflict there, right? No conflict at all. We have a 14-1 council, and the line between what the council does and what they decide in caucus, I don't know, seems pretty direct to me. They never go against the mayor, hardly ever. Occasionally, Tom Livingston recently did not vote with the council, and it happens, but it is quite rare. So the other interesting thing about the BET and Ed Camacho is that Ed Camacho had been in solo practice for many, many years. He was hired by Ventura Law, which is a Danbury firm, in August of 2017. And then shortly thereafter, the city retained Ventura Law to represent us in the opioid suit. They had two other firms to choose from, and they picked the one with the most conflict. So figure that one out. I don't know what happened there, but what I've heard is Corporation Counsel Mario Coppola pretty much steered them in that direction, and didn't seem to be interested in every person on the Common Council understanding Mr. Camacho's relationship with Ventura Law. So this is why who we elect for mayor is super important. Who we put on the council is super important. We want to elect people who are transparent, who are open, who will open up the appointment process, because our economic stability is riding on these decisions. We've added thousands of apartments and our taxes are going up, which means that the decisions of the land use commissioners are bad ones. I'll just come right out there and say it. These are not decisions that are paying off for us. And if the decisions were paying off for us, our taxes would be going down and not up. So please pay attention. Ask your candidates where they stand on the appointment process. The mayor, whoever the mayor may be in November, can change the process. The city of Stamford posts their appointments, their vacancies online. Usually in Stamford, I don't think that ordinary citizens have to nudge the mayor to fill a vacancy, which is what typically happens here. You can have, there's a 60-day window according to the city charter, and the mayor will extend it to 90 days and beyond until he gets a nudge. And sometimes the nudge is in the form of someone he doesn't want asking to fill the vacancy. So these are really important decisions. Don't forget that even though there's a new organization, this is still the one that should matter to voters, okay? Because if you change who's in these two places, you change everything, all right? So please pay attention. Ask your candidates where they stand on appointments, if they think they should be done pre-approved behind the scenes or not. Ask them. And hopefully you'll get a satisfactory answer, and one that makes you feel comfortable about moving forward with those particular people in place, making decisions that impact your pocketbook. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.